also start the recording. Right, so
Yeah.
we'll listen to Shreya first, her story of or her journey of open learning, and then Parineetha and Achalesh. Is that okay? Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yes.
So I'm Shreya. I'm 15 years old. I've been being homeschooled for the past 3 years. I actually, when I was going to school, I went to school until seventh grade. I didn't really enjoy going to school. It wasn't like I was enjoying the process of going to school, and moreover, I didn't find it useful to go to school because my interests were mostly dancing, singing, and stuff like that. So school really didn't help me um, achieve whatever I wanted in these fields. So we decided to get me homeschooled. My parents came up with this idea of getting me homeschooled, and I was pretty fine with it because I could do whatever I wanted, and I had all the time. I mean, the whole day was to me, and I really enjoyed the after I was homeschooled. But yeah, that's basically the story of how I was homeschooled. Yeah.
And you want to share a little about then you came to Arohi and all that.
Oh yeah, sure. So I came to Arohi around. It's been 8 months or 6 months around. I'm not sure. Since I joined Arohi, why I joined, the main reason is that there's a whole community of people who are just like me, who want to do whatever they want and not uh, pursue normal schooling. So yeah, that's how I joined Arohi. And joining Arohi, it actually made a lot of difference because before I thought I was the only one who was doing, because all the people I knew were going to regular school and just being um, normal. But after coming to Arohi, there was a whole community of people who were just like me, doing whatever they like, and they were also different ages. So there was a lot of opportunity to interact with many people, and yeah, it gave a lot of exposure to me. Yeah.
Okay. Um, you want to a little more talk about what are your interests, what are you doing, what all you are doing now. When I say now, I don't mean as in today, but in the
Yeah.
last, let's say, 6 to 8 months, what
Hmm.
all you have been doing.
Yeah. So my interests are basically in dancing, singing, gardening, playing instruments, and stuff like that. I've been learning Parineetha for the past 8 years now. Yeah, and Carnatic music for the past 5 years, and also been learning Veena for the past 4 years. And that's my basic interest. Apart from that, I'm really into gardening. I love gardening, and I'm not really. I don't have much experience in it, but yeah, I just love connecting with plants, animals, and yeah, I love farming. And I enjoy other sports. I love to travel to places, meet new people, interact with people. Yeah.
And what about Zentangling?
Oh yeah, totally forgot about that. I also love art. I paint sometimes, but I love Zentangling. I keep doing something or the other. Even if it's not to that level to my satisfaction, I keep doing, drawing, doodling. Yeah, it really gives me a lot of happiness, and I love doing it. And I also love cooking these days. I wasn't into cooking much before, but yeah, it suddenly interests me to cook.
Cool, cool. And just for everybody's information, you are 15 years, right? And also, she travels she lives in Coimbatore. We are near Bangalore. So she travels on her own all the time, up and down. And yeah, okay, more you can ask her question when we come to the question answers. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Thanks, Shreya. Parineetha, will you go next?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Pari, you can start.
So, hi, my name is Parineetha and I am 9 years old. And I am an open learner. And I was not even in. I started homeschooling from 2 years. Yeah, around 2 years. And I have seen lot of improvement in myself, like in time management. I have like improved my time management, and my story, like my father was not even interested in doing homeschooling, and I asked my mom to, like when I was going to school, I asked my mom to like join me a school with no exams and tests, because that was a stress for me. And yeah, I love doing unschooling, like homeschooling, and my time management improved. Like I was doing planning, and in school times I was like my whole time used to just go on doing like the tests, preparing for tests, exams, and yeah, doing homework, playing. And my time at home was like yeah, still after homeschooling I was just at home, and yeah, I used to not get like to do I used to not get busy at home. And when I went to Arohi, like I got used to planning, doing a thought club, and yeah. And now, before, when I used to not be like like bold, like in talking and all. Like now, I like voluntarily go ask what are my needs and all. At Arahi, I was a receptionist, and the interview was very good for me. And yeah, didn't even know what is meaning of receptionist. And yeah, I took an interview and I learned many things, like how to copy, like more about computer knowledge. And yeah, that's all.
You want to share about what all are your interests? How do you most of your day or week? Where do you spend your week? What doing? What all?
So my interests are gymnastics, the main interest, music, dance, keyboard, crochet, cooking. I love spending time with pets. I don't even have a pet, but yeah, I love pets. I do crochet. I got introduced to crochet and jewelry making at Arohi. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, okay. I think that's good for a start. Okay, so let's move over to Achalesh. Yes, Achalesh, you can unmute and share your story.
So shall I start?
Yes, Achalesh.
Okay, so I was I am open learner at Arohi. My name is Achalesh. I am 9 years old. So I like to, my interests are, I like to do many board games. I like to create games. That's my main interest nowadays. And nowadays I like creating stories in storyweaver.com. I'm just creating stories. So I got interested in creating stories, And even I like playing shuttle. This is a new interest because in my home we don't play anything else. It just gets boring, any other sport. So we play shuttle. I like shuttle. So if there is wind also, I try to play. The car goes somewhere, we have to go take it. It's little difficult, but I still try. And I in story where there is something called speech texture, there it's easier for me. Just I can just say the story. It will just type, and if there's any mistake, if I'm typing, if I can say, it will correct the mistakes and put it. So for that and all, the speech texture can be used. And spell check, for checking spelling, I take help of my mom, parents. Then I just read some books of spellings, and if I read some books, my spelling gets improved. So I try these, I do these. And I like pets at Arohi or any place because it's nice to hold a pet, or just like goat. I have when I was somewhere else, there was many goats, so I explored the goats. I used to carry it, so I like that. And so my parents tell something what to do, so I do that. So parents tell me to do maths, even I like little maths, and parents also tells to do. And now for the new interest, I like English, so I want to do English also. So English, these are like mine and my mom and dad telling to me. These are two like that. And yoga, so to benefit for a body, so I am doing yoga. And singing, just my mom tells singing, so I sing. I'm just trying many ways, and I'm in a singing class, just going there every day. And veg cutting, in cooking, I'm doing veg cutting. I like cooking and veg cutting, but veg cutting not that much. I like only cooking so much. So I just, it's okay, I just cut vegetables. And I do languages like Tamil, Sanskritam. English is already written, so yeah, Tamil and Sanskritam. So I teach Sanskritam and Tamil for somebody in Zoom, just started 1 month, 2 months ago. And yeah, fitness, I like fitness. My mom tells. So cycling is mine and mom's. So meaning my mom's and dad's and mine. So because I like to do little time of cycling, but not very time. My mom tells and dad tells, do more cycling so it can benefit your body. So I do. And running, I don't like running that much, but just running 2 rounds, 3 rounds I like, but not that much. And hygiene, so brushing, okay, but combing I don't like because always it will pain. So if I tell to my mom, he'll just do drr, drr. So my mom will do. And oil bath, for my hygiene I do oil bath, yeah. And I also like, I have a new interest on creating games. So creating card games. So in Rummy, creating card games. So in Rummy, I am learning more math because when we calculate points, I am the calculator of calculating points. And even I learn little bit of maths. And the pattern of Rummy I learn. And card games, so I've created one card game. And ball games, just with a sponge ball I have created games. And goatee games, I've created goatee games too. And I want to, in programming, I like programming. it's a new interest. So Scratch or any other website, I want to try creating some game like video game, or in Scratch some other game and a board game. Some kind of board game I want to create. And I like playing chess too. I'm learning chess from Minal auntie. Yeah.
Would you like to actually share about your desire to work with electrical and other things when the lockdown was not there?
Yeah. So when the lockdown was not there, I liked electrical at Aarohi because there are many resources in Aarohi, so I can try new things in electrical. And sometime repair will come. So after repairing some things, I got an interest on electrical. And chemistry also, I started doing at home. Then I started doing at Aarohi. Yeah. So chemistry also came like that. And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry?
that's all.
That's all. Okay. Thank you very much. So, is it okay? Now we can take questions. Maybe the people may have a lot of questions to ask from all three of you. So, Achalesh, keep your video on, dear, if you're okay with that. In fact, let me on my video also. Okay. Okay, Achalesh, I think will on his video very soon. Meanwhile, people, if you have questions, you can type it in the chat window. If there is a child and the child wants to speak out the question, we can unmute the mic also. But parents, can I restrict you to asking only in the chat? Okay, Om is asking the question, when you used to go to school, that time you were more busy or now you are more busy? Is it asking all three of them or you want it from a specific person? Om? Okay, the one who went to school. Okay, I guess that is Shreya. Shreya, you went to school, so were you more busy then? Okay.
Even Pari went to school.
Me also, I went to
Okay,
school.
Pari can also share. Shreya, you want to answer that first?
Yeah, I can answer the question. So when I was going to school, more than busy, it's just that I wasn't engaged in activities which I liked. So now, more than being busy, I feel satisfied in whatever I do. Even if it's a small thing, I can be satisfied with what I do. And when I was going to school, I wasn't satisfied because I didn't like history, geography, civics, and stuff. So yeah, but if you see in the busier part, I think nowadays I'm a bit busy because uh, having dance class, music class, practicing everything else in a day, I think it's a bit. I'm a bit busier these days than going to school.
Pari, you also want to answer that question?
Yes. So when I was going to school, I was not that busy. Like in studying, I was little busy. Like studying, like writing homework. Only I used to do it. Not like my mother used to not be like helping me to study, and she was just asking me questions for the exams. That's all.
Okay. A question to Achalesh. How long have you been learning Scratch?
Yeah, so just it's a new interest. I just started in 2 months because I just started because first time I explored Scratch, and who I teach Tamil and Sanskrit, they also teach me Scratch. So like that I started Scratch.
Okay. Pari, somebody is asking how Arohi works. Do children come to the campus and so on? How often? Can you quickly give a brief answer to that? How does Arohi work? When lockdown is not there, obviously.
So like we have a particular schedule. Yeah, we plan our day. We have like self time and we have community time.
Okay, they also want to know, do children come to the campus and how often you come to the campus?
I come on Monday and I go back on Friday. And yeah,
Okay,
and some children stay there, and some children go back.
okay, that Shreya can add to that.
Yeah. So I am not near Arohi, so I can't go back on weekends. So I usually stay there. So it's not like you have to come here for a whole term or something. You can stay there whenever you wish to, and you can leave whenever you want to. So yeah, so typically I stay there for a term. But if I want to go home in between a term, I have the option to go home, and I also have the option to stay there. So it's up to me.
Okay, question to Achalesh, where do you make your own stories? What is the app name and how do you make the story?
So the app name is Story Weaver. So there's a page where it tells create. If you click that button, there are many buttons inside. Like you can add a picture. There's a place to type. You can add a text box. You can add a text box in the picture, top of the picture also, and you can type there. Yeah.
Okay, Shreya, next question to you. Do you feel pressure seeing your peers go to school?
So it's not like pressure or something, but there is whenever I tell someone that I'm homeschooled or I'm schooled and not writing any exam or not going to school, there are few people who ask, why don't you go to school? How will you get a job or whatever?
But these are
But
mostly adults saying
I
this.
think Aruhi has like yeah. So that way, Arohi has helped me because all of the people there are just like, don't go to the regular school and come to Arohi. So that way, it has helped me. But it isn't like pressure. It's just that you have to answer them, and you sometimes, uh, it's a bit tiring to answer them because they keep asking you how will you get a job, or all they want is yeah.
Okay, I think the next question is also related. It's saying, how do you see yourself in comparison to regular schooling? So I think Shreya was having some connection issue. But Achalesh and Pari, you can answer, how do you see yourself in comparison to other children who are going to school? That's the question. One by one. Yeah, Pari, you want to answer that? How do you see yourself in comparison to school-going children?
So like I see the comparison, like they don't spend time with their self much, and they they only focus on studies, not on other things. And yeah, that's what I see the difference.
Okay, Achalesh?
Even in home, you can help in kitchen stuff. So in Arohi, everybody does like pets. You can clean toilets from there. You can do washing, washing, cooking. You can take. There are like lots of things you can do that, like because there are many resources too. So yeah, you can do a lot of things there.
Okay, so you feel other children who are school going are not getting this opportunity? Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Shreya, the question was related to the first one. How do you see yourself in comparison to school-going children?
Oh, so yeah, the main thing is that I can channelize what I want to spend time in. Whereas when I was in school, I wasn't able to do that because I had very little time to myself because typically I would go to school at 8 o'clock and come back at around 5. So, and then homework and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, you have very little time for yourself. So this, I really have a lot of time to myself, which I can channelize into what I really want to do. So that's the main thing I see, not in being unschooled.
Okay. The next question is, how do you manage your TV time? Do your parents control or whatever? How do you manage your TV time? So again, open question to all three of you.
I can answer that. So my gadget time is controlled by myself because I actually have very little time for gadgets because I get engaged in a lot of other activities. But yeah, I still have around an hour every day to myself for gadgets. Uh, but what I watch is definitely discussed with my parents. But yeah, the time I watch is up to me. But I think I have my limit.
Okay, Pari, you want to share your view on this?
Yeah. So I use gadgets for only for resources, like drawing stuff like that, or researching about some particular thing. I use only like little time. I only use for entertainment. I don't use it much for entertainment. Yeah.
Okay, Achalesh?
Manvada.
We only use gadget if we need to see some movies or I want to play video game, but I don't use gadgets that much nowadays. Like that, I don't play video games very rarely. Even like 1 week or 2 weeks later, we see a movie. Yeah.
Okay.
So who controls your time? I think they are asking.
Nobody.
As in, you control your own time. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I discussed for my parents this time I'm gonna do this and I'll do.
Okay, okay,
Nowadays I'm not doing. So
okay.
I have a question.
Achalesh, there is one child. His name is Adit. He's 7 years old. He wants to talk to you about something about Sanskrit. Is that okay?
okay.
Yeah. So Adit can come on mic.
I think Michty also wants to come on mic. Want to know about gadgets?
Yeah, we'll come to that. Adit, you can come on mic.
Okay. Who taught Achilles Sanskrit?
Did you get the question, Achalesh? Who
Can
taught?
you tell it again?
Please tell it again, Adit.
From where did Achilles learn Sanskrit?
Online. So I learned it from online. So there's a what do you call in YouTube? There's something called Samskrita Bharati channel. So from there is one first, second, third. Like there are videos and Vedika rhymes. So for Sanskrit rhymes, I got it from that, and Samskrita Bharati just for starting and more words. I got it both in YouTube.
Okay. Thanks, Achalesh. Hope that answers your question, Adit.
Answer? Say something, yes or no, what?
That's okay.
Do you have any more questions, Adit?
No.
Okay. Okay. We'll move ahead. Thank you, Adit. Reshma, you want to know more about how open schooling concept works? So let's finish with asking with the question and answers with the children, and then I will address your questions. So if it's okay, let's first go through all the questions and interactions people want to have with our guest children today. Yeah. So please hold on with your questions about open learning. Tanvi is asking, Without regular schooling and a big group of friends, how do you learn social interactions? That's the question.
Yeah, so I can answer that. So I think you don't need a big group of friends to have social interactions. Uh, Here you in Arohi Runway, you have a lot of people to interact with in a variety of age group because there's no restrictions in Arohi to like say for in school you only typically interact with your friends in your age, but here we like talk to every single age group, so I think that satisfies the social interaction thing. Personally, I don't feel that I'm not socially inactive or something like that. I think I'm good.
Okay. Pari or Achalesh, you also want to add on that question on social interaction,
Friends.
friends and social interaction. Achalesh, you want to share how do you interact with different people, and do you think you have less people to interact with, or do you think you have more people to interact with?
No.
There are many people to interact with because I go everywhere, so many people interact with me. So akkas, annas, many people interact with me. Some other friends, yes.
You also want to share how we travel in Arohi to different places and meet a lot of people, like on Fridays or outstation
So
trips?
there's something called Friday outdoors. So we meet some other factories or somebody else's place. Yeah.
And outstation
Even
trips?
my dad takes shopping everywhere. So I interact with the shopkeepers.
Pari wants to talk about volleyball.
For vegetable lady,
Yeah.
fruit.
Pari, you want to talk about your experience of being a receptionist, of taking calls of all the parents and other?
So, like when I was receptionist, I used to get many questions like how they used to ask me how is there, like how what and all you do, and I some questions I was not able to, and Ratnesh used to help me. And when I go to my shop, like yeah, we have a shop. When I go to there, and I used to talk boldly there.
Okay. To the customers, you are saying.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. Mishti is asking, do we have to take our own gadgets? Are you meaning, Mishti, take your own gadgets to Arohi? Is that what you want to ask?
Yes.
Okay, Mishti is also on mic. Anybody wants to answer that?
I'll answer it.
Okay, Pari.
So you can take your own gadgets to Arohi.
Or if you don't want to, you can use Arohi laptops also, right?
Yeah. And there's a phone uh, there's a campus mobile you can call your parents from.
Yeah. Okay. Rupali's daughter Krishna wants to ask a question. Yeah, you can go ahead, Krishna. Come on the mic, please.
Yeah, my question is that this is to Parineetha that don't you get bored at for homeschooling? Like you get bored?
I don't have time to get bored.
Maybe little tell her what all you do during the day so that you don't have time to get bored.
Younger one.
Like I do some fitness time, and some at the starting when I was homeschooling I used to get bored because like I used to not have anybody at home, like more people. Yeah.
How is it different from going to school then?
Mhm.
When I was going to school, it was like the teachers would not even teach. Like I used to get bored when they'll teach. I used to not get interested in not listening to their lessons. Sometimes I used to sleep in class, and now at home it's good. I learn in online.
Okay. There is a child called Vanya. Vanya, you want to ask on mic? You can come on mic, dear.
Wanted to
Yes, Vanya, go ahead.
is the usual timetable. What do they usually do at home? Usual timetable.
Whom do you want to ask, Vanya? Achalesh or Parineetha or Shreya?
I'm fine with anybody answering.
Any answer, okay. Did you get the question, Achalesh and Shreya?
No, what do I do at home or in Arohi?
Yeah, okay, Vanya. So they want to know whether you want to know what they do at home or when they are at Arohi. Which schedule you want?
Home.
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 Yeah.
Oh, so I can share. I usually wake up around 6 to 7. I wake up around that time because I can't sleep more than that. So I around until 9 is just my time. I freshen and stuff like that. And then I have class at 9:30. I have dance class online. It goes up to 11. So 11, I finish my classes. And then I practice music around 1.5 hours to 2 hours every day. So after that, it's almost lunchtime. I eat and then take some rest. Not exactly rest, just some family time, play cards or something like that. And then evening, I spend time practicing Veena and then gardening for around half an hour or so. And Veena, I almost spend 1.5 hours every day. So it's around 4 by this time. And then I do fitness for an hour. And then, yeah, after that, it's just my time. I spend an hour on gadgets and then, yeah, spend time with the family, eat, sleep. And there are some days which I spend doing other stuff like drawing, cooking. This is how a typical day these days go. But yeah, there are days when I don't follow the schedule, when I do something like art or cook or go out with my family, or if there's a person whom I can meet, I go meet that person. Yeah.
Okay. Vanya, do you want more Pari or Achalesh also to respond?
I just another. I don't exactly understand. What about things like maths and science?
Yeah, so I did study maths for some time, but then I didn't quite. I think I'm pretty good at maths because I have I did maths for a long time when I was small, so I can calculate pretty well. So I don't study math these days. But if I feel I'm not good at it, yeah, I might pick it up again. And as for science, I don't think it's really for me because I'm not interested in it. So I don't think it's really useful for me in any way. So, but if I feel if it's going to be useful, I'll definitely. So yeah, I don't spend time in it.
Okay.
If they want.
Pari, Achalesh, do you want to answer?
How do you do maths and other subjects?
I do it from Byju's. I do it from Byju's, and most of it's just the same like a school. But I learn new things other than this thing.
Okay. Achalesh, you want to share? Although Achalesh had in his present talk, yeah.
Yeah. So maths, I learned from my dad. So my dad writes math sums. I write some math sums, and my dad will help me to do the math sum. After my dad helps some math sums, even I have to try by myself. So after that, he will check if there is some correction. He will tell how to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. But I also want to clarify to Vanya, not everybody needs to do that. Some children do that because their parents want to do that. Whoever does not want to do that does not do that. Like how Shreya was saying, she doesn't do science. So it's really depends on each child what they want to do. Yeah. Okay. Next is Parineetha. There's a question for you. Shankar is asking if I see you are in gymnastics. How do you manage gymnastic classes while being at Arohi? Pari, you got the question? Yeah.
So in when I go to Arohi, I have a mat. So in there, my sir give me the schedules. You should practice this. And when I'm at home, I go to weekend classes.
Okay. Did you get that answer? Okay. Some Kendra is asking, what do you prefer, homeschooling or going to school?
Homeschooling, obviously.
Okay. Then there's a question to Shreya. What is your opinion on part-time jobs for teenagers, necessary or unnecessary? That's the question.
Uh,
Part-time jobs for
I haven't part-time job, so I don't know. But yeah, I don't know seriously because I haven't experienced it. But maybe if it's necessary for you, you should do it.
Okay. In the same way, if it was necessary for you, will you be okay doing it?
Yeah, definitely. If it's something which I want to do, definitely I will go for it.
Okay. Vidushi is asking, is there a listed topics that provide required checklist? As in, I think they mean subjects or something to help them be responsible for age appropriate progress. So do you have something like that? Is there a listed topics from where you choose, or how do you choose what you want to do?
It's based on my interest. There's no such as listed topics or something. It's totally based on my interest, and uh, yeah, there's no such thing as listed topics. Whatever I feel like doing, or if I get inspired by someone to do something, I do it or learn it. Yeah, there's no such thing as listed topic.
Achalesh, you also want to respond to that? How do you decide what all you want to learn? You're on mute, dear. Yeah.
Can you tell the question again?
The question is there any list or something as to what all from where you have to decide what to learn, or or how do you decide what all you want to do?
I
Yeah, go ahead.
decide by myself. So what I want to learn, just like some tasks my parents tells, but otherwise I only decide for myself what I want to do, or if I see somebody else doing, I will try and tell I want to do it more, or I don't want to do this more. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Pari, you want to respond?
Yes. So I get interested like by seeing other skills, like seeing other skills, and I just I just wanted to learn by seeing them or by asking them.
Okay. So just adding for everybody's understanding that children discuss in detail with their parents what all they would like to learn. So there is no checklist, but it's between the children and parents, and they come up with their own plan. Right, Achalesh? Right, Shreya?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously, the whole community is there to support them by giving them exposure, by giving them ideas. Would you like to do this? For example, we thought, hey, would you like to go to surfing? Did all of you come for surfing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we all went for surfing. No, surfing is not part of any checklist, but we went to a sea and we all learned surfing, right? Okay, there is a question. What is the schedule in Arohi? Uh, Somebody wants to reply to that. Schedule in Arohi.
Yeah, I can answer
Yeah,
that.
I want.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can go.
Okay, so we wake up at 6 o'clock. We do sunshine. After that,
Sorry, you'll
we
have to explain what is sunshine because people won't know what is
okay.
sunshine.
After we wake up, we have brushing and doing potty. After that, we go do exercise, and exercise is 6 to 8, and 8 o'clock we have
So how does
milk.
this exercise work? Everybody has to do the same exercise, or how do you do it?
We can do like our own exercise, but we should have a schedule kind of a thing so that we can follow it, not waste the time. And 8 o'clock we have milk. 8 to 9 we get ready for planning. 9 o'clock we have planning. Planning is basically we just plan our day, what and all we need, what and all we'll do this time to this time. And we after planning we'll have breakfast 10 10:30. 10:30 to 11 we have clean up, like we clean the kitchen, broom, mop, clean the tables. And after that we have 10 to 2 self time. Basically for tween we have 10 to 2. For teen, we have 10 to
You
3.
just tell the broad schedule, Pari. Don't go into so many details. Just the broad schedule. Yeah.
Then we have then 2 to 3 activity club, 3 to 4 Jatri activity club. We just uh, do some reading, play games. Jatre means we choose a topic and learn about, like somebody will share their experience about this particular topic. 4 to 5 we'll have campus care, which we have 3 particular themes, which is kitchen, campus, and resource. There we just dust and
Okay, brief,
broom.
brief, brief, Pari. Just in brief, the broad schedule.
After that we have sports, then dinner. We have early dinner, then thought club. Like then we write the whole journal, like journal meaning, like we write what and all we did in this day. And yeah, we have 8 to 9 our self time. And 10 lights off.
Okay, thanks, Pari. So Mishti is asking some places where you go on Friday. Few examples. Who wants to give few examples to Mishti? Where all you go on Friday?
I can tell.
We
Okay.
have gone to a farm and making like handmade sarees, like machine. We see how sarees are made. And we have gone to a dairy. We have gone to that many places, which I remember.
Even we have gone to chicken farming place, and we have gone to factory of water who supplies drinking water.
We've also had Fridays where we just, as a community, come and bake together, watch a movie together, reflect on that movie and stuff like that.
Go for a
It's not
trek?
that we just go to a place. spend time together.
We also go for trekking, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Or even we stay inside the campus also.
Yeah.
Or some other thing.
Okay. Any more questions? We are almost nearing 4 o'clock. So maybe we can take one or two last questions to the children. And then if parents have questions to me regarding Arohi, I can stay back and answer your questions. Yeah, please go ahead and type in the chat window if you have a question. Okay, Akshit is asking how many kids are there? How many kids do you all interact with?
Uh, we typically have around 15 to 20 kids
Yeah,
at
and
Arohi.
we have kids like me also to interact with. So don't
Yeah.
just think
So
that only small kids are kids, even little physically sized big kids are also there.
yeah, as for kids, there are around 20 people, but we interact with all ages. So yeah, if you wanted to see the number of people we interact with, it's around a lot of people. Because it's not that we just interact with the kid, we interact with their parents also. So yeah, there's a lot of people we interact with.
Okay. One
Even
last.
we interact to guests.
Yes. Thanks, Achalesh, for adding that, interacting with guests. So if you come to Arohi, we'll all interact with you. Okay. One last question we can take, right? Okay. Anybody who has a last question to the children? Okay. Mishti is asking, do we have all beds? Do we have bunker beds?
Yes, we have bunker beds.
Rakesh is asking, is there any problem in the society you wish to solve?
Problem in the society?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the question, but that is the question. Is there any problem in the society you wish to solve? As in, are you looking at something? I guess, are you asking Rakesh about social causes? Is that what you are indicating towards?
Related to education.
No, I'm not too sure, Rakesh. First of all, I'm not too sure about the question. And is it directed to us or is it directed to the children here?
So society problems in the society based on education, which I wish to solve. Is it like that?
I guess
I
so.
didn't get the question
Yeah,
properly.
even I'm not very sure about the question. So maybe Rakesh, you can come on the mic. Yeah, we'll take this as the last question with the children. Um, he's saying we have problems with schooling. Mhm. Okay. If we have problems with schooling, homeschooling is the best alternative.
Nish, I think he's wanting to ask about.
Okay, so he's saying we have problems with schooling. Homeschooling is the best alternative. How do children wish to carry this forward? So, how do you see yourself taking your journey forward? Is in a way,
Journey of homeschooling?
yeah, journey of unschooling forward or open learning forward. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is a good alternative. So I think many people do this instead of going to a regular school. So I don't know how I'll take this forward. I'm homeschooled, so I'll definitely refer other people to get homeschooled and be like me.
It is a good experience.
Okay. Okay, so thank you everybody, and thank you Pari, Achalesh, and Shreya. So yeah, I will be there. I will stay back for another half an hour. You can ask me questions, but let's say bye to the three children. Would you like to say one bye in your own way, however you want to say bye? Maybe say one line or whatever you want to say.
See you later.
Anything you want to say to everybody? There's so many children here, so if you want to say something to them.
So
Thank
definitely
you
get
for asking us.
Okay. Sorry, Shreya, we didn't get you. Can you repeat that?
Oh yeah. So please consider homeschooling because it's an awesome idea and you get to do whatever you want. It's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, Pari was saying thank you. Yeah, Achalesh, you want to say bye and with some line?
Yeah. So thank you for hearing what all we told.
Thank you, Achalesh. Right. So thanks.
It's a good experience of homeschooling. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so I'll be still here if you want to ask me any questions, especially parents, if they want to, even children, if you want me to ask questions. While Achalesh, Pari, and Shreya, they have signed out. Yeah. So you can ask me a question. Reshma wanted to ask me about how does the open schooling concept work. Okay. So, yeah. So, first of all, I think let's not call it homeschooling. It's not schooling. Schooling is, as at least I understand, is how there is a curriculum, there is a teacher, there is a class, and so on. There's test and exam. So, if you remove all of that, then there is no schooling left. So, let's not even call it homeschooling or open schooling. Let's just call it open learning. What it means is that each child can decide what I want to learn in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year, in a lifetime. Whatever I want to learn, I start learning that. I may need help, I may need resources, I may need guidance, and I may leave it after some time, or I may come back to it, or I can go deep into it, or I can learn little of lot of. So it really depends on the child and obviously on the parents, because the parents are the most important guide for the child. So that is how open learning for us works. And as you saw or as you heard, the children come here, they choose what they want to choose to learn to do. Different children do different things. Obviously, they are in their planning process as to what all they would do in a day or in a week. They are guided by their parents. And then further, they are guided by all of us as a whole community, and us as a facilitator. We try and understand what is the child's interest and what is the child's uh, desire to learn, what the child wants to explore, what the child wants to get an exposure of. And we help, support, ask questions to understand the child better and help the child better. So that is exactly how we work as an open learning community. So Reshma, has that kind of started kind of answering your question? You also asked about 10th. So please keep in mind that there are two options when it comes to 10th or 12th or college. One option is to go for 10th, 12th college. One option is not give 10th, 12th college. So there are enough children who have doing open learning and given 10th and 12th through things like NIOS or IGCSE, or even joining back a school and giving it through the board. And there are enough children who have not given 10th or 12th and even college. My own daughter is 21 years. She has not given any 10th, 12th college. My son is 15. He is not giving 10th. Even Shreya, as far as we know, has planned not to give any 10th, 12th because she wants to pursue her music and her dance, and she doesn't feel any need to give a 10th or a 12th. So what I want to say is 10th and 10th, 12th college is optional. If an open learner wants to go that route, he or she can take that route. If they don't see any value, they can just do what they like doing. Yeah. Okay, so that's broadly. You can ask me more questions if you have. Akshit is asking, how will these kids pursue professional courses? So again, I think I kind of answered your question, Akshit. It first of all, the question is, why do we need a professional course? Do I really need it? Depending on who am I. Yes, maybe if I want to become a certified doctor, then there is no other option because law requires me to do a professional course. But if I want to do a business, if I want to do if I want to do gardening, if I want to do art, if I want to do even science, I can do a lot of science. I can do a lot of computer. I know a lot of programmer children who have not gone to any either not gone to school and definitely not gone for a professional course. So I can learn. I can be a software professional without going for a professional course. So it really depends what I want to do, and do I need or do I want a professional course. If I want a professional course, I can go, I can give 10, 12, and give a professional course, or I can learn the same skills I can learn as a in a professional course by my doing it by myself, or doing it as an apprentice, or even doing a lot of open courses from open universities from across the world, and a combination of internship, apprenticeship, and exploring, and so on. So there are a lot of different ways uh, one wants to do. In fact, it's a whole different world altogether when you say, I don't want to do a professional course. Now, what are the options? So there's so many options that can open up. It really depends on each individual, what he or she wants to pursue, what is their interest. Yeah, so I hope, Akshat, that kind of uh, at least initiates the answer to your question. You can explore more, and you can obviously connect with us and ask us more. Now or later, you can always call us up or visit us once we open. As Aditi is asking, and she would like to visit Arohi. Yes, yes, definitely. You're most welcome to visit Arohi once obviously it opens. Right now, anything to do with children and education is closed by the government, so we follow those directives. So our campus is closed, but what we are doing right now is an option called Arohi X, which is Arohi is extended to all the children at home. So the community is still very active, and if you want to become part of Arohi community, even today you can be part of the Arohi community. We are calling it Arohi X because X stands for extended to home. So all these children you saw, Parineetha, Sreya, Achalesh, and many more children, they are all part of Arohi community, but from their home. There are no online classes. We don't do online classes, but we meet online to do a lot of different things. Like Shreya does music, Achalesh does, I think, programming and stories, and Parineetha does art. All they are doing is with other children and other adults. We are all getting together and kind of doing a lot of collaborative work together. So if you like this whole idea of open learning from your home, then also you can be part of Arohi community. The benefit is you get to interact with a lot of other children. As in, when I say you, that includes you as parents as well as children get to interact with a lot of other children, with a lot of other parents, and a whole wide big community to interact in different ways, right? For example, from 2 to 2:30, 2:40 today, we had business club where there were few adults and few children all discussing business and so on. Yeah. So that is how we work in AarohiX. If you're interested in AarohiX, you can just visit our website and check that out. I'll also type the link in the chat window. You can go and see that. Yeah. Somebody's asking links for online music and dance classes. That I will not be able to offer you because I don't run any online classes. You will have to find out for yourself. There are thousands of them. I'm sure, both people teaching as well as videos. So unfortunately, Reshma, I will not be able to suggest any online links, but I guess Google can help you with that. And uh, or maybe people who are doing these online music and dance classes, you can ask them. Yeah. Anybody else has more questions? As I've I put the link there if you want to look at ROHEX, which is what currently is we can offer, because we are not able to invite you to our campus because of the COVID situation. I also want to repeat, if you have any questions about open learning, you're most welcome to call us, connect with us, and we'll try to help you out with whatever experience we have and whatever we do at Arohi. So you're free to call us or email us or WhatsApp us. Please connect with us for any. Geeta Shri is asking what age is correct. There's no correct age, Geeta Shri. Any age is welcome in Arohi. Younger children, when they come to Arohi, they come with their parents. Obviously, they can't stay here on their own. When I say younger children, I mean 4, 5, 6, 8 years. Typically, 8 or 9 years onwards, they can even be here on their own. So that time parents don't come. So it really, the age itself, we even have 1-year-old coming, 2-year-old coming, 5-year-old coming for different durations. So it's really up to the family to decide. For us, all ages are most welcome. I think Pradeep, I'm sure children have their aspirations. I think Pari right now is pursuing gymnastics. Shreya is pursuing dance and music very seriously, so that could be her aspiration. Achalesh is exploring a lot of different things, but he may have an aspiration. Yeah. So there are some children who decide at a certain age that this is what they want to do. Like my son at 15 has decided that he wants to be a professional footballer. So he's totally into football. But there are some children who don't necessarily decide anything very specific. Like my daughter, she's an explorer. She's 21 now. And all these years, as I told you, she's not given 10, 12th or college. So she's exploring so many different things. And she keeps changing every 1 year, 2 years. She's done so many different things. She's done facilitation. She's done business. She's done uh, online classes. She's done art. She's also into yoga and spirituality. So she's doing a lot of different things. So it really depends on an individual. It's not anything to do that one has to decide at a particular time or age. Some of us, even much later in our life, are not very sure what we want to do now that we have grown up. So I guess it's an open question. Ankush, it's not very difficult to join back into a school, even if you don't have a TC or a marks card. There are a lot of schools who are open to taking children at an age appropriate class. Obviously, they may want to interview or test the child, so the child needs to prepare for that if the child wants to go back into school. But just to write board exam, you don't have to join a school. You can just write it as NIOS. I'm assuming you are familiar with NIOS, where you can just register at their website and give an examination. You can also go for some international certifications like IGCSE. Yeah, Vidushi, you're most welcome to call us and understand. Um, uh, so personally, as I said, we don't think this is homeschooling. In homeschooling, you're trying to do what the school is doing at home. But in open learning, you're not trying to do what the schools are doing. In fact, you are opening up the learning, opening up the child to the whole world and say, hey, you decide what you want to do. So that's, I think, the essential difference between uh, schooling and open learning. So in open learning, that is why there is no concept of going to school, because why would you go to school? Because you would rather decide what you want to learn. Yeah. Otherwise, actually, all the children, I would say, who are going to school are also being homeschooled, because when they come back home, there are either tuitions or their parents teach them, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, that is something that that happens in most of the cases with children. But in open learning, it's very open. it really depends on the child and the parents. Yeah, so you're most welcome to call us and discuss more and understand this more. Yes, Rakesh, open learning is an alternative, right? See, till now, most people were thinking that the only way to go about in life is to go to school and then to college. But open learning is a definite alternative to school and college, because it says that hey, you can also learn on your own. Which is why I also not like to call it homeschooling, because it's not just an alternative to schooling; it's also an alternative to college and to professional courses. So yeah, it's an alternate. If you like it, you can, the child and parents and the family can thrive in it. The good news is that now there are so many people like us, so you are not alone. We are all there to support each other. The whole community is there, and that is the beauty. The child gets to interact with all ages of people, right from young age to older children to young adults to parents to grandparents. So that's the beauty of being in a community and doing open learning. Yeah, so I think maybe we can pause now. Thank you for joining in. And as I said before, you can always connect with us if you need more support, if you want your doubts to be clear, or if you want to be part of our community. Yeah, so thank you very much once again for joining. We'll anyway be sending you the link for the recording if you need it for some purpose, or if you want to show it to others. Yeah, thank you, and good day. Bye bye.